Yes, we have seen executive fighting with the parliament, and it is a very unfortunate moment for our nation. I want to start because the Constitution of Kenya categorically stipulates the work of executive and the work of parliament. And now there is separation between the two. But whatever we've been seeing for the last 3 days, it is a sad moment for our nation. And I begin and I quote whatever was happening in our meeting when President Ruto and Raila Odinga, together with the members from the National Assembly and the Senate, we could see Mr. President accusing the parliament of bribery, of corruption. And it was a sad moment. And the following day, the parliament retaliated, and we could see them in oneness, united against the statements that were made by His Excellency William Ruto. And I want to remind members of parliament, when we are placing them in the House, in the parliament, in the Senate, the Constitution stipulates that the work of a member of parliament is to do oversight, is to do legislation, is to represent the people who have elected them. And we are seeing, it is interest because the executive is accusing the parliament of receiving bribes. And my biggest question is, who are these, Mr. President, as you say, they are receiving bribes? And on the other hand, the parliamentarians, who are giving these bribes? And as we say that we are in a sad moment, because instead of members of parliament representing the people, they elected them, the constituents, we have seen them throwing games, and we've seen a lot of political gimmicks. I quote one of the members of parliament who said that now the executive want to go down with them, and all they've been doing all along, they have been brought certain bills such as the housing levy. Of course they passed it, and they are categorically saying it, they are passing it, or they passed it on behalf of someone. The Adani deal was there. The housing finance, they are saying that they passed for the sake of the executive. And this is a sad moment indeed, because once a member of parliament is there, he is supposed to represent his people. He is supposed to do legislation, to make policies that shall bear fruits, that shall help each and every Kenyan. Like now, currently, the data, because numbers will never lie, we have a lot of complaints from some companies, and even some companies are migrating to our neighboring countries, Tanzania, for instance. And we've been all accusing Tanzania and saying Tanzania is behind us some years. But you see, great businessmen and other companies migrating to this neighboring nation, it is a sad moment for us. And unless we elect members of integrity into both houses, unless we elect leaders of integrity in whichever capacity, and we held them accountable, we ask them to do as the Constitution stipulates, then our nation shall continue sinking. And that is a sad moment for us, even as young as we are, because we have a generation that is behind us, and we want our nation, we want a generation which is coming behind us to come and find a better place, a better nation, a focused nation. You know, when the Vision 2030 was drafted, this vision By now, we are supposed to be like a middle income earners. But what we are seeing, economic status deteriorating each and every day. And that is not our stand. So if we have leaders who keep on messing people around once they are elected, we shall not have a nation. So my wish and my desire is that we place and put men of integrity, men who shall be accountable, men who shall be willing to be held accountable. Thank you.
Now, the main question in the minds of people, the people or the constituents who elected these leaders is, did we elect them for us, or did we elect them for the president?
Yeah, and this has been the question all along. Because once a member of parliament or once a leader, maybe I cite from the Senate or from National Assembly, when they are going to seek a mandate from the constituents, they go there as people seeking employment. But once those people are elected into those positions, now they turn to be employer. And now they cannot even represent the people who have placed them and put them there. They change, and now they start acting on behalf of their interest. So in other words, and my reminder, if any member of parliament should be held accountable by the constituents, because the constituents have placed them there directly, and therefore he should be answerable and liable unto the people.
Question: Is Ruto the one bribing these members, or friends of Ruto? Whom do you think is bribing these members to do these things?
You know, our system, the way our system is, our system all along, we need to fix our nation. We need to fix our systems. Because if we have corruption from the grassroots, from the bottom to the topmost, so we can say that our systems are corrupt, and unless we act promptly, now from the top, the president, if anyone is held accountable, if anyone is found culpable of committing any crime, corruption, bribery, using money that was meant for public participation and for public development, if such a person is caught, if the president can give a clear guidelines on how to hold that person accountable, then it will trickle down from top to bottom. But unless the executive changes, then we shall continue having the mess even in the houses and even to the bottommost levels.
So in this sector, if you are elected, that is for the area of Roysambu, if you are offered 10 million, as the president said, some of you were offered 10, some of them were offered 10 million, and they passed these bills just to please the president. Will you say, mimi kama George staki 10 million, ukipewa 10 million?
It is very unfortunate if one can exchange the will of the people and the money. And that is why I repeat and say, we need to place men of integrity into those houses. I had one of the employees, I think Otiede Moro, say they have some careers to protect. So they should not be condemned that they are taking bribes. So we should place men of integrity. And I dare say that you cannot equate money with the people you are representing, with agenda, with making a policy that will help every Kenyan, regardless of his geographical location. If all we need is to implement and make good policies, not money, because handouts, and we need to really talk against the spirit of handout in our nation, because it is messing our nation. And sooner we correct that mistake, sooner we shall reclaim our nation.
Okay, lastly, as Speaker Amason Kingi stated clearly that the Senate is not privy to this issue of collecting bribes to pass certain things, or on the motion of impeaching Gachagua for that matter. He was not privy to the House being bribed. They did their job and they did it well. Between the House, the Senate, and the presidency or the executive, who is saying the right message? Who is right? Like, who is lying to us?
Whatever has been said before, it is like every person, even including the young people who in June 2024 went out, and the issues they were advocating for, they were very clear. The issues of corruption, finance bill, corruption. And I dare say, because the system has taught us, and the system that has been there, it is a system that is corrupt, a system of giving bribes. So we cannot say that whatever Mr. Kingi, Mr. Speaker, is saying is true, because we know and we heard some members giving insight that bribery was there during the impeachment of his deputy, Mr. Rigathi Gachagua. So we know that there has been corruption all along. We are not sure if certain members were bribed, but according to members from the houses, they were saying that certain members were bribed to impeach His Excellency Deputy President.
And lastly, on the issue of Gachagua coming back home, you are a Murima guy.
Yes.
What is the general atmosphere in Murima concerning Gachagua?
Yeah, you see, Gachagua has come along for the people when the people needed him, and many might not align to his political affiliation, but one thing, most of the people are agreeing to his consistency and the statements he has made before. So Kenyans from wherever they are, they can agree to whatever statements. There is some consistency, and therefore there are things we have learned through him and we could not have learned. There are things that have been happening. So the people from Murima, as we have been seeing on the news, they are very happy. Actually, some of them, they are calling him the king. But I have always taken the positions that we need to have inclusivity. And this inclusivity, when Kibaki was there, we didn't have so much issues on kingships. Like that one was not there, and we still had leaders. So I believe in inclusivity, that we can work together, we can bring all leaders from every region and we work together.
I know you want to ask a question, but before that, just lastly, between Uhuru and Gachagua, who is the current Murima kingpin? According to you, Mwesh?
According to me, the current kingpin at the moment, Gachagua, there is what Gachagua has.